So whenever we are in a negotiation situation, whether it is a salary negotiation or a negotiation with a client, we need to approach the conversation as a win-win, because I have been in negotiations where a client of mine has been negotiating where they want to get a win outcome, but they're trying to do it at my detriment. And they're not the kind of clients that I want to do business with. So there's a level of disengagement there, and that's what happens in a salary negotiation. If we are negotiating and we are only in it for what works for us, then your manager or the HR team are going to know that, and then it won't be engaging, and vice versa. How does it feel for you if they're only in it for their own outcomes? So let me share with you a concept that I use with my coaching clients, which is the Assertiveness Navigator. Now, in the Assertiveness Navigator, what I talk about here is some ways that you can create a win-win, and how do we move away from other behaviours so that we can create this win-win situation. So the first thing I want to show you is, I guess, the pieces at the edges of the triangle here. So the first one is, if we go into a salary negotiation and we're being quite passive aggressive. Now, by that I mean saying something like, well, fine then, if that's all you're going to offer me, I'm going to go and work somewhere else. It's quite passive aggressive. So, you're saying that you're not happy. You're saying you're going to go somewhere else, but you're not actually saying you are open to discussing some alternative options. The other option here is to be passive. So when we are passive in a negotiation, once again, there's no win-win. It's a win-lose situation. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by passive. I had a lady that attended one of my events recently, and she shared with me that she was offered a promotion. And during the offer meeting, they said to her, well, we're offering you a promotion. However, we will not be increasing your salary. Now, she did not say anything about that. She didn't challenge that. But inside, she felt really deflated by the offer and quite disengaged. So fortunately, what she learnt through our event that we had, the Salary Maximizer, she was able to then go back and have a much more confident and assertive conversation with her manager about that. But it's not dissimilar to stories I've heard where women do accept whatever the first offer is that's given to them, and as a result of that feel quite disengaged. The other way that you can react in a negotiation is to be aggressive. And I guess, this is kind of that, thumping hands on the desk, or, being quite aggressive in your tone. Now, once again, that's not going to help us achieve a win-win outcome in a negotiation. So what we want to be able to do is to be very much assertive in our conversations. And assertive is looking for what's the win-win. So I'm going to talk to you in a moment about knowing what you want to get out of a negotiation. So in my 10 steps checklist, I talk a lot about how to understand, well, what do you think the organisation might be looking for? And so then you can know what they want to achieve from the negotiation, and you can share with them what you want to achieve from the negotiation. And then we enter into it as a win-win negotiation.